Yo guys, welcome back to another video of mine. So it's time for the review of the Springboks versus Wales, which took place on a Saturday. The game ended up with the Springboks winning it by 3 points. I was completely wrong. I thought they would win by like 23 points, but yeah, this was the end result, 32 points to 29. And yeah, we'll go through the game, through some like key stuff that happened that might be of interest to all, and that's maybe important for everybody to know if you're interested in this match. But yeah, so before we get into the action, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also hit that bell notification so that you don't miss out on the next video. So yeah, it was a crap start from the Springboks, honestly. Wales scored like in 2 minutes, like just after the kickoff, 2 minutes after the kickoff, Reece Zammit scored, and that was just really unnecessary, that try, because we left a huge overlap open. But I think the first try of Wales actually was not a try, because the pass, in my opinion, to Reece Zammit was forward. If you look properly, then you'll see that it was actually forward. Some people may argue and say he drifted forward, but his hands went backwards. I'm not really a fan of that. I don't really think that is true, because I can do the same. I can pass forward and then just on purpose throw my hands backwards as if the ball was passed backwards. But anyway, so that was a try. We started off terribly, the Springboks. Dan Biggar kicked a massive drop goal after that to make the score 8 points to 0. He obviously missed the conversion for the kick after the try was scored, the first try. But then Reece Zammit scored again from a line-out. That was kind of a weird line-out, because Elton Jantjies read it and then he just knocked it on or something, and the ball was picked up by Reece Zammit, who scored, and he just out-sprinted Mapimpi totally. So it looks like Mapimpi is not as fast as Reece Zammit. So yeah, that was a terrible start. We managed to get 3 points on the board in the first half, but Elton Jantjies had a terrible game. He kicked like 2 or 3 penalties miss and only one over, which was like right in front of the post. So the halftime score was 18 points to 3. And I think the key decision that Nabe made was to take Jantjies off the field for the second half, and replace him with Damian Willem. So basically moved to fly off, and Willie Leroux moved to fullback. So Damian Willemse kicked for the rest of the game, the penalties and conversions for us. But yeah, I think that was a key reason why we've won the game, because Jantjies didn't have a good game. Mostly the first half was, like, in my opinion, most of the first half was his fault why we were bad, because he just made such poor decisions with the ball. But he's a guy that likes to attack with the ball. He likes to pass the ball flat and pass the ball like out wide. He's like the playmaker. He likes to be a playmaker, but he's an attacking flav, not a kicking flav. No, not from the boot. Nor high kicks and territory kicks. So he kicked a lot of high kicks and territory kicks, and it didn't work out. Terrible kicks from him. But also, what made me so upset was that after we received the penalty, then he kicked the ball out, but he kicked it too far that the ball went dead. So it was a scrum to Wales from where he kicked the ball. So yeah, he didn't have a good game at all, but I'm very happy that he wasn't on the field anymore after the first 40 minutes that he went off. And Leroux actually had a good game when he came on, because we used to seeing him knock the ball these days a lot, but not at all Saturday, because yeah, he kind of like counter-attacked a lot, and he's a nice playmaker. So yeah, he had a good game. Willemse also had a good game off the boot, and he stepped also brilliantly, likes to step. And yeah, so in the second half, I was so frustrated at halftime, 18-3 down, but in the second half, luckily, we scored. Bang, 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 bang. We scored with a driving maul from Bungim Bunambi, and he scored. After that, another driving maul, Malcolm Mark scored. And after that, a few penalties for Wales. that stretched their lead to like 9 points. So now they are firmly back into control. But just after that, Colby scored from a brilliant grubber by, I think it was Damien Willems or Villiru who kicked the grubber. And that was a lovely, lovely grubber, because I think either Damien Willems or LaRue kicked that grubber, but whoever it was, that person noticed the defense was drifting. So if he passed the ball, the defense just would have shifted towards the next receiver. So he decided, why not kick a grubber? And it worked brilliantly, because Colby gathered the grubber and he scored in the corner. And then Damien Willems actually kicked that very difficult kick over. Willems is not my favorite kicking fly off, but he certainly had a good game on Saturday, and yeah, it was quite a good game for him. Jasper Wiese was immense. He was man of the match. All his carries with the ball were like so strong. It's so hard to tackle that guy. He keeps getting over the game line. And yeah, it makes the Boks get a lot of momentum the moment when he gets the ball. So very happy for him, proud of him. But yeah, so after that we scored again. We didn't. It was a penalty try, but yeah, so Wales went down to like 12 men at some stage in the game. They had a lot of yellow cards, and maybe that's one of the reasons why they lost. But straight after we scored the penalty try, they scored a try through a driving maul. Our driving mauls in the second half were fantastic, but our defense in the driving mauls were terrible. Like, if they do a driving maul, Wales, then our defense wasn't great in the driving maul. The first of our driving mauls was stopped completely by Wales, and yeah, so we fixed that in the second half. But they scored a driving maul try in the second half, Wales, and in the 82nd minute, a deliberate knock-on from Dan Biggar led to a penalty for the Springboks, and Willems kicked the kick over. Woohoo! We've won! Not a great game at all from the Boks, honestly, but I'm very proud of the character that we were 15 points down and we managed to make a very, very big comeback to win the game. So yeah, that I'm very proud of the Boks in that case. But otherwise, especially the first half, wasn't a great time for the Boks. We played terrible, especially Yankees, as I said. But yeah, I'm proud of the character that we managed to come back to win that game in the second half. And obviously maybe altitude caught up with the Welsh, because it's hard to win against the Boks at Loftus, because we are used to the conditions and we are used to the altitude, and other teams really get tired in the let's say 60th minute. They start to get so tired, all the energy is gone because of the altitude. But yeah, that's also probably why Wales lost. If you haven't noticed, the Springboks actually announced their squad, or starting XV, or starting 23 if you want to count the bench width. But yeah, they announced their starting XV for Saturday for the second test against Wales, and a couple of big changes. I like to see a few players there. I'm very happy to see guys like, if you haven't heard, Andre Esterhuizen is going to play, Evan Groos is going to play, but I'm not sure about Joseph Dweba starting. He's a good player, but I'm not sure about his driving mauls. We'll have to wait and see. But we picked let's say a C team, but in my opinion it's not really a C team, because all those players are still fantastic. They just didn't have the game time together to prove for the Boks how fantastic they can be together. But yeah, so if you haven't already, check it out, the starting XV, just Google it, they will show it for the Boks. And yeah, so I'm gonna repeat the final score. As you can see again, the final score was 32 points to 29 in favor of the Springboks. And yeah, so the Welsh can be proud of themselves, but of themselves, but they also cannot be that proud at the same time because they allowed the Boks to come back and win the game. So, yeah, well, it was not a great performance from us, as I said again. But Wales were desperate because they had about the last game they played before the first test was in the Six Nations against Italy, and they lost that game in Cardiff, so they would have been a desperate team, and we saw that. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.